All right, guys, today I want to talk about leg locks, more specifically a straight ankle lock or a straight Achilles hold. It's the first leg lock that most people learn, and in my opinion, the most difficult to master because you have to be very precise of your grip, and that's really what I'm here to talk about today. Because the leg positioning when you finish and the way guys finish, that comes down to preference and rules that you may compete under, of what you're allowed to do and not allowed to do. But I want to show a way that a lot of people get the ankle lock and they struggle to finish it, and they spend a lot of time adjusting, and in that time that they spend adjusting, their opponent gets out. And I want to show you what I do to eliminate that. Usually, like when I get a good bite on an ankle lock, I usually get the tap. Right? I'm not a leg lock specialist, but it's the first attack in my arsenal, and then I go to other attacks off that. So I kind of want to show you guys what I mean. So I'll kind of go sideways here. I'll use that side. So with the ankle lock, you have to look at the anatomy of the foot, of the leg here. You know, his calf is straight, and then his heel. If you look, my finger slides, and it stops right there. Why does it stop? Because this juts out, it sticks out. But you look, I'm sliding down the back of his calf, and I stop. Okay. So when you grip it, and again, you know, I tend to grip around my forearm here. When you grip it, that's what you need to do. A lot of people, regardless of how they get here, whether it's from a, they can't pass the guy's guard and they decided to go after the legs, or they swept the guy and ended up here. A lot of people just, grab onto it and they come up here, and they crank the shit out of it. Now, if you're going against someone who isn't aware of leg locks and doesn't know much, they might tap. But against someone like myself, like I've been training a while, I'm decent in leg locks, you got to be precise or I'm not going to tap. Like good leg lockers have tapped me out, but someone who's average at them usually doesn't because they do it wrong. So again, I always tell people don't go searching for the Achilles, right? Let it find you, meaning just slide. Oh, what happened? It stopped, just like my finger stops. It stops right where it needs to, on the Achilles, ankle. So I'm here, I slide. Now once I feel that, that's when I get my grip, and I'm usually in the leg position already, but for the sake of this video, I'm not really showing, I tend to finish with the doorstop here, a very traditional leg on the ground. I have a lot of success with this. This is how I finish, right? With the guillotine grip, hand up on my chest, like that. That's not really the point of this video. The point of this video is if you want to be precise in your ankle locks, just slide until you can't slide anymore, right? Again, using this part of your forearm, right? Not the bone here, go right about there. Okay, so again, slide down until it stops. And then when it stops, what stopped you? The Achilles. That's what we want, right? And then you get your grip, like I reinforce it, you come in here, and I just arch. Okay, now this is how I like to do it. I've seen some people do it this way. I've seen some people, this is a really good one, do it this way. There are a myriad of ways to finish ankle locks. Some people, I'm not a fan of it myself, but it's powerful. Some people like to finish with it in the air like this. Okay, nothing changes in any of this. It's just the positioning of our bodies or the positions of my legs. Okay, I can go upside down if I want. If he rolls, I go with it. But this thing is so simple, but it's a game changer, right? Again, don't just think you're in the right place. Because even if I come here, which is close to what I want, if I come here, that hurts, right? He's probably not going to tap to him. He's a good white belt. He's only been training like a year, so he's somewhat new in the jiu-jitsu sense. But even here, not tapping, right? Slide down. It takes care of itself. It stops for you right where it needs to be. And look at this. I can do this standing without any control, and I get the tap, right? So you have to let the Achilles come to you. It will every time. But just don't be, when you get into position, when I get into position, and usually I get this from sweeps, I have this overhook on the leg. So once they land off the sweep, because again, that's usually how I get ankle locks, I slide until it stops. It'll stop on its own. That's perfect. Because the worst thing you could do is you get a good bite on someone and then realize you're too high, then you're like, because if they're not tapping right away, they're defending. And while he's defending, if he's trying to defend and I try to adjust, he's for sure going to get out because he's already defending it. And then when I loosen up my grip to adjust, he's out or he's countered it or he's going on to something else. So again, guys, let the anatomy work for you. Look, I slide and I stop. So I get that overhook. Oh, and hand on your chest like the Pledge of Allegiance. Get into your preferred position. I got my doorstop and my heel here. I pinch them and arch. Never fails me. But again, finding the right place to be it seems like a no-brainer, Achilles lock, ankle lock. But a lot of guys are the lower calf here. And I won't tap to that. I'll tap that's in the right spot. So just keep this in mind, and you can even practice this. You know, when you're drilling leg locks with someone, just kind of practice. Slide until it stops. Slide until it stops. This is something that, you know, I didn't invent it, obviously. It's just something that I kind of discovered on my own that's helped my ankle locks. Because too many people were squeezing me and we're getting the tap, and I'm like, go until my heel stops you. Everyone's heel sticks out. Look, I can slide down my own leg and it stops there. Where it stops is right where you need to be. It's there for you, so don't overcomplicate it. But keep this in mind when you're going for your ankle Achilles hold, and it'll make a big difference.